Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? It's me, Albatross. Um, More about Virginia Giuffre and the unfortunate distractions that they're trying to come up with. Um, Her family, right? I'm gonna try my very best to be as open-minded as possible and not judge these people because we all kind of act differently when we're grieving. We're not really ourselves. Sometimes we say things that we would have never said otherwise if we weren't grieving, or focus on things that maybe we shouldn't. Because sometimes when you're grieving like that, you're looking for distractions. So I'm going to try my very, very best not to judge Virginia's family. Because I know what it's like to lose someone very close. And it's hard, to know how you're going to act. It is. You can say all you want. You can compare it to how you've acted in other situations, but you never know how you're going to act until things like this happen. So I'm going to try my very best not to judge her family and also because I'm not even totally sure I believe the media and what her family is saying. Because a couple of days ago, about a week ago or something, they were saying that it was too much for Virginia to take, blah, blah, blah. Well, either that was a lie or her family has found out new information to make them change their mind. And now, well, it's a little confusing because it was like yesterday or the day before, Virginia's father was coming out saying that her death was suspicious. He didn't believe she killed herself. Now, the big news is Virginia's family is preparing for court. No, they're not. I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused here. Her assets were frozen. Whatever money she won from this settlement with Prince Andrew was frozen after she died. I don't know what Virginia had set up in her will. I don't know about any of that. Um, I'm not gonna try to judge. I would think it would go to her kids. But I don't know how it works. I don't know what was set up. Maybe Virginia set it up this way. See, this is what I'm trying to keep in mind when I get it's that Virginia herself could have made it set up this way where it went to her husband. And I hate to say this, I don't want to assume that her husband beat her just yet. Not just yet. Because so far, the only time, the only thing I've heard about her husband being abusive was those Instagram posts that were very suspicious about a month ago. I'm very suspicious about those Instagram posts and all that. It was weird. Very weird. The accident. And then the denial of the accident by the people involved in the accident. And the pictures. It was very sus. It was very sus, that whole situation. And that was when it kind of came up. So, I'm not sure about that. And like I said, it could be true. And to be honest, it is shady how she met her husband. I always kind of thought that. But, I don't want to assume. Just because the media is saying, I don't want to assume anything. Right? Because how do we know Virginia didn't set this up? For her kids or something. Okay, but anyways, I'm going to get off of that. Because there's a lot I don't know about that situation. It was weird. But what I wanted to get to is this. The media, right? It's like everyone had been talking about how her death wasn't an accident, Or, I'm sorry, suicide. It wasn't a suicide. It wasn't a suicide. She herself has said many times that she would never kill herself. So there's that. And then this pops up. This whole fight with her family and her husband about her money. This pops up. And this is another reason I don't want to judge her family. Because I don't even know if this is true. This just could be, distractions by all these news articles. Because they love to do that. Especially when you're asking the right question. They like to throw in all this superficial crap to confuse people. But, what's really important is what happened to Virginia. They're trying to get us to forget about those questions. And I don't know, maybe her family is fighting about it. If they are, maybe they already know what happened. And if that's the case, it'd be nice for them to let the rest of the world know what happened in Virginia. Because we're all just sitting here like we don't even know how she killed herself yet. They haven't disclosed that. They usually do right away, you know. Like anytime it's someone high profile, oh, so and so took a bunch of pills, so and so had pneumonia. Like they usually do so like right away. With her, they haven't said a word. Just that she killed herself, but not how she killed herself. They haven't said a word. Not one word. And so, there is so much going on right now. All these dumb fluff pieces, confusions. So I wrote down yesterday all the facts that we need to remember through all this circus. The facts. Not the speculation, but the cold hard facts that we know about Jeffrey Epstein. Okay? Alright. 1. Jeffrey Epstein, with 0 college degree, somehow became a math teacher and then goes on to manage assets and become a billionaire. Another fact, no one really a lot of people speculate on how he got his billions, but no one really has any proof on how he became a billionaire. No one really knows. There's some facts. Other facts. He is connected to practically every famous, influential, powerful political person and the royal families. Another fact. Somehow or the other. Another fact. When he got caught the first time, the courts immediately tried to give immunity to any associate of Jeffrey Epstein's, even though no one was told about these associates at the time. But whoever they were, whenever they got found out or caught, if this deal had actually gone through, they would have got immunity forever. Why would they do something like that? Right? Early in the investigation and all, and just barely scratching the surface, and the court comes up with this deal. Anyways, I was very hung up on that fact. That was very interesting. That was like right when he got caught 20 years ago in 2005. Next fact. While awaiting trial for his charges, he, quote, commits suicide, unquote, in like one of the most secure prisons in our country. It's a federal prison. The cameras weren't working. The guard fell asleep. All kinds of weirdness happened in that jail that night. Ooh, to be a fucking fly on the wall. Okay, next fact. And since then, 3 other people connected to Epstein case has committed suicide. Pause for a minute. Let's ponder this fact for a minute, okay? Now, when Jeffrey Epstein was charged, as far as we knew, he was the one running his own little pyramid scheme thing there. You know what I mean? He would, Ghislaine would find a girl, they'd send that girl out, find more girls, all of his friends would get a little piece, and, all this would go on for years and years and years. And, but, so you would think that after he died, well, okay, who else is there? Why are all these other people dying suddenly? What's going on? Was there someone else? Could it be Ghislaine working from prison? I mean, I don't know. She also is connected to very powerful people. Okay. But I'm not totally convinced it's her. Anyway, next fact. That was just my opinion, by the way. I have no idea why these people are dying. Next fact. Donald Trump promised to release all the documents relating to John F. Kennedy's assassination, Martin Luther King's assassination, about 9/11. But when he was asked about Jeffrey Epstein, I'll never forget this. He was like, I don't know, maybe. That was weird. Why? Why the hesitancy? Why the hesitancy? If you think no one cares about it, then why hesitate about it? I kind of felt like he could have come up with a better excuse than that. Because people most definitely care about it. Kind of a tone deaf thing to say, Donald Trump. I'm just saying, that's a tone deaf thing to say. Like, why would someone care about one of the biggest pedo rings in the world and how the person supposedly running that pedo ring mysteriously dies? Next fact. Many have been named linked to Epstein. Like Prince Andrew. I mean, so many people. But only Ghislaine faced charges. That's a fact. Another fact. The FBI has stonewalled the document release multiple times at this point. Multiple times. It's wild. It's odd, right? There's already some of the most powerful people in the world linked to Epstein. Like Clinton, Prince Andrew, so many people. Like, the list goes on and on and on. So, why Stonewall now? What are they desperately hiding that we don't already know? Next fact. They're excusing this delay because they need to protect victims' names. Even though they've been doing it for months and they could have had this done with AI in probably a day. Probably less than that, but I want to be a little generous, but you know what I mean? That doesn't make sense either. And another fact I wrote down, and I'm not totally sure how true this one, I didn't verify this one, so I'm not going to call this one a fact. But, apparently Gene Hackman's ranch property is close by Jeffrey Epstein's ranch. And knowing what we know in New Mexico, but what's going on in New Mexico. A little odd, right? Oh yeah, also, in case you all didn't know, I don't feel like people have brought this up enough. The prosecutor in the county where the CIA is, who's in her mid-30s, she just mysteriously died in her apartment about a month ago. Or 2 months ago. It wasn't long ago. Mysteriously found dead, and she was investigating some very powerful people. Probably the CIA, hopefully, but I mean, why else would they kill her? I mean, and all these deaths, even though they're all connected and linked, they all keep getting ruled over and over and over, not suspicious. Who would have that kind of power to do that? Dare I say, not even the President of the United States would have that kind of power. Who would have that kind of power? Other than a government agency. To just kill all these people. And this which leaves me, the fact part's over. This is my opinion. I want to leave this with my opinion. I think the CIA, and more than them, there's a lot more to them. They're just probably the ones just doing the dirty work. But whoever is running the puppets, the strings of the CIA, I think they're getting pretty damn desperate. Because think about something here. Every time that they kill a witness or kill someone who's talking too much or discredit people, they're very skilled and slick about doing it. You know what I mean? They've mastered this. They have mastered this over the years. How to discredit people, how to get people to not be interested in it. And what's going on right now with Virginia is very sloppy. It's very sloppy and it stinks. Something is up. I don't know what it is, but it was very sloppy. They're not even trying to not look suspicious in this. They're not even trying to not look suspicious. They're not even giving us a lie anymore. They're not giving us the truth, but they're not even trying to lie either. It's like, oh yeah, she killed herself, and you're like, what? Really? How'd she try to kill herself? Like, we're not going to tell you. Just she tried to kill herself, but we're not going to tell you how. Not going to give you any details. Have fun wrapping your head around that. So, and I'm not, and to those of you who say the CIA is the United States, I hate to. This is why we need to get this petition signed. The CIA. That's not how the CIA works. Yes, it's a United States organization, but they do not operate directly in the United States. Their purpose, they go all over the world. They operate everywhere. They spread havoc, confusion into every other country. I mean, ours too, but like all the other countries too. I mean, I'm sorry to say it, everybody, but like the United States has been messing with your citizens for all these years. They need to go. They need to go. They've never been there to help anybody, except just to get more power and leverage against powerful people. That has been what they've been doing this whole time. And they are not even trying to hide their hands anymore. Not even trying to hide their hands. And you know what? If you don't believe me, you can just go look at the declassified documents yourself. Go look at what the CIA has been doing to all these countries over the years. Go look yourself. So they operate everywhere. But the question is like, why not even try to like give us a reason or like anything? Because at this point, I feel like the public would have swallowed anything at this point. I mean, seriously. I mean, my gosh, the dumb crap that they've been feeding people, and a lot of people buy it. But like in this position, they're not even trying to give a reason or a method. I mean, for suicide, like they won't even tell us. So how do y'all know she killed herself? Like, was there an autopsy done? Why isn't the journalist asking these questions? Where's her body? Is she cremated already? Is there going to be a funeral? Do her kids know? What does her husband say about all this? That's kind of what I want to know. What does her husband say about all this? Well, I mean, what did Virginia's will say would happen after? If because she knew people were after her. And I don't pretend to know Virginia, but I would have to assume if she knew powerful people were after her, she would have some kind of arrangements for her children. And she wouldn't just take the chance that that money would go to them. So what did she say would happen? Why would her family want to keep that money from going to her husband and children? Unless it's just going to her husband, which, I mean, he's the one taking care of her children. But anyway, that's whatever. But like, all these questions that I've noticed that these journalists aren't asking, they're like helping. Because the journalists always work for the CIA. Always. They always have. So if you really want to know what the CIA has going on, you really just got to look no further than the news articles. They're showing you what their plan is. They want to keep us distracted with the money, with the frozen money. They want to keep us all distracted with that. So we stop asking about what happened to her. What, like... But you see, honestly, and like, I mean, of course I would like to see that money go to Virginia's kids. But honestly, I don't really give a shit about the money. I really don't. And I don't think Virginia, at the end of the day, I mean, of course, I'm sure she made arrangements for that money to go to her. I would think. But even if she didn't, that goes to show you she didn't give a shit about the money either. Because it was never about the money. It was never about the money. You see, I know they like to say that, but another reason people sue is because they know damn well in their hearts that they're never going to get justice through the criminal courts. Not with the way they're tainted. So, they got to go that road to get any kind of justice. And it's not just about the money, because that kind of money doesn't affect them. It's the public assassination. The public opinion. That's what the punishment is. That's the justice. And as we've seen from history, like, I think the deep state, aka the CIA, they work very closely with the royal family, very closely. Very closely. And Virginia wasn't doing either one of them any good. These are very two powerful, powerful organizations. Very evil, in my opinion. My opinion. I mean, I've never seen them do anything good, have you? Okay, anyway, but so yeah. All those things we need to consider. And I wanted to end this by asking everybody. The money doesn't matter. We need to keep the focus on justice, guys. And I know that and as sad as all this is very sad, but it does give a little hope, right? A little hope. It shows us how desperate they are. They are so desperate that they are starting one of the most professional, manipulative organizations in the world is right now being sloppy as hell. They're desperate. Why are they desperate? I don't know. I have no idea why. I'm just glad they are. And I think we need to use this momentum to bring them down. So if anybody have any kind of reach or pull or whatever, please take this petition of mine to defund and dismantle the CIA. They need to be taken down. We need to stop this. And one person can't do it. We all need to do it. Please sign and share it to as many people as possible. It's something very small, very easy. Thank you.